Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. Before I begin, I want you to look at something. It's quite hilarious. Do you see that right there? That's my carport. And that is Stormy. She likes to sit up there. It's kind of hilarious. She'll jump from the porch. But anyway, okay. So, this is not going to be a review video. I'll do that later. But I have a new mountain dulcimer that was custom made for me by the folks at Folkcraft Instruments. And I want to have a discussion about this topic because I feel it's important. So I'll give you a little peek at the instrument in all of its beauty. I mean, look at that thing. It is gorgeous. Now you're going to notice something. You're going to notice a lot of things actually, but you're going to notice something pretty quickly. It is chromatically fretted, okay? And I wanted to have a little discussion about that. I will do a full review of this in another video. You know I love it. But I feel like this is important for the dulcimer community to have this discussion, okay? I'm kind of new in this world, so I think I can say this. And of course, there's going to be people that get upset by it, but there's nothing I can do about that. But I want to tell you something, okay? There are people out there who really dislike a chromatic dulcimer and the idea of it, right? And I cannot really understand why. But I want to go through this with you here and explain why it's great for me and why it might be great for you as well. Okay. So whether you feel one way or another about this whole topic doesn't matter. Please give this a listen. Okay. So in my world, I sit on the porch and play, as you already know. Okay. So I can play anything. A standard dulcimer is perfect. And I absolutely love a standard dulcimer. You know, you can be in both camps. You can like all the fretting options, which I do. I love all fretting options. But, okay, we're going to go through everything here. So this might be long. You might want to grab a drink. I didn't even grab one for myself. Oversight on my part. But, you know, I play on the porch. But you know where else I play? I play in church every Sunday. I play with my husband who plays on a guitar. I play with another fella by the name of Gerald, who plays the guitar as well. And John and I both sing as well. And Gerald and I do all the breaks. And I play my banjo or I play my dulcimer. And I also play at the evening service offering a solo piece. So 5 times every Sunday, I need to be able to play, right? And play with others at the same time and with singers and be able to do instrumental breaks. So that's where I'm coming from with all this. Now, my limitations as a musician, okay, keep me from wanting to retune quickly, okay? So, and why I say that is, obviously when you sing and play with others, certain songs are going to sound better in different keys. And the singer is going to dictate the key you're in, right? The singer is going to dictate that, obviously, the lead singer. So for the past year and a half that I've been playing at church, when I play my dulcimer, we have been limited to D, G, or A for the most part. Okay? And why have we been limited? That's where my inability as a musician will come in. Because sure, I could retune my instrument to be in C. I could retune my instrument to be in all sorts of things. E flat, all sorts of things, right? I could retune my instrument. But if I chose a tuning other than 158 tuning, that's DAD tuning, it would mess up my instrumental break. Okay? And I don't play with sheet music and I don't play with tablature. I play by ear and by memory. And our list of songs that we play is over 60 now. And so when I pull out these breaks, it's just normally a simple melody, like the words that you would sing is what I play, right? And I can do that. But on a standard dulcimer, it's difficult to do that in multiple keys, more than just D, G, or A, okay? Now, sure, I can play chords. If I have a 1.5 fret, I can easily play in C and just do chords with no capo and all sorts of things, right? I can do that, but it limits my break. Now my break, I have to really do some brain power to redo my break, and I'm not able to do that yet. And that's okay, right? I want to be here to tell you that that's okay. So the Chromatic opens up this gigantic world for me very easily and quickly. So you don't have to be this top level pro musician that can easily play all your breaks in multiple keys when you have this little doodad right here, a capo, right? If you have a capo and a chromatic fretboard, you can easily be in any key, just like that. And you're not missing any frets anywhere along the line, okay? And that's why I wanted it. And that's why last night's practice was absolutely beautiful for me. I loved it so much. The songs we're going to be playing on Sunday include 1 in D, 1 in G, but it also includes 1 in C and 1 in E flat as well. And that's without me retuning at all. It's just using the capo. And one of them was a new song we've never done before. So I was able to pick out that break because I'm very familiar with DAD tuning and where everything is. So my fingers just know where those notes are. And I can just, as it's being sung, I can pick it out. So when the time for my break came, I picked out a halfway decent break just the first time through. And I'll work on that some more before Sunday. But the point of all this is I want to show you why and how you could use a chromatic dulcimer in an everyday sense and why you would want one, right? And another reason is, I don't want to call it laziness, but I don't have to learn to play in all these different keys. I don't have to learn to retune a million times to be able to play quickly, easily, in any key I want. I don't have to do that because I have a chromatic now. And that's just the beauty of it for me, okay? So that I wanted to address that first before I talk about why people dislike it and things that I've heard over the years. But I cannot tell you how much of a game changer this is for me and how happy I am to have it. And I really want to thank Richard Ash at Folkcraft Instruments, because without him, I probably would never have something like this. And I really appreciate it. And I cannot tell you enough how awesome it is, you know, to have some people believing in you. It's just, it blows my mind. But, okay, so now let's get into the things that people think about chromatic instruments. And I'm here to tell you, they're wrong, okay? So if I make anybody mad by this, too bad. I'm sorry that you have limited yourself. That's all I can say. Because this definitely has a place in our world today. It has a tremendous place. And I want to restate something as well. I love a standard dulcimer. I've been playing a standard dulcimer for however many years. It's hard for me to say because I have medical issues and things that have kept me from it. So probably cumulatively, altogether, 13 or 14 years, something like that. I've been playing a mountain dulcimer and loving it. And I didn't even have an extra fret, the 1.5, until 2020. So I never even tried that before. But, you know, here are some of the things people will say about a chromatic instrument, or even the 1.5. There's people that hate that too, and I don't understand it. Okay, first of all, we all know the beauty of a standard mountain dulcimer. And also its simplicity is another thing that make it an amazing instrument, right? You can do so much with it. And a lot of chromatic players who play banjo, banjo, guitar, mandolin, things like that, they don't realize that a lot of what they do is diatonic. They don't realize that because they've never had to play without some of those frets that make it chromatic, right? So they don't realize that they're playing mostly diatonic with some added notes here and there, right? For the most part. But someone who has played a mountain dulcimer, a standard mountain dulcimer, and someone who plays a standard mountain dulcimer, what I'm talking about here is with the added 6.5 fret. That's the standard now, right? That's a standard mountain dulcimer. A fully diatonic would be without the extra fret there. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about standard. Everybody who's played standard has learned to work within that. And that's great. And it's beautiful. And I'll never stop playing a standard. Okay, so I wanted to make that clear. But here are some things you'll hear people saying about a chromatic. Number one thing I hear, and I don't understand it. Number one I hear, why don't you just play a guitar? And it's usually said just like that. Why don't you just play a guitar if you want all those extra frets? It's said negatively, and I don't get it. Number one, we want to play a mountain dulcimer, right? Does it make it not a mountain dulcimer to have extra frets added? If that's the case, then get rid of your 6.5. That's what I say to you people who want to throw shade and be mean and disrespectful to anyone who might like to try extra frets. Get rid of that 6.5 since you don't like it so much. You're playing a guitar, okay? It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. All right, so that guitar one, I don't understand that. And anyone who says that, please reconsider what you're saying. I don't get it. Be kind. It doesn't hurt you to be kind to other people. If you can't understand something, why someone might want to do something, doesn't mean you should be mean about it to other people, okay? So that's the first one that I hear a lot. Here's the second one. And this one makes me laugh, all right? I laugh at this. I can't slide over all those extra frets. Okay, you can't slide over extra frets. So anyone playing a guitar, a banjo, a mandolin, and any other fretted instrument that's fretted chromatically, they're somehow amazing because they regularly slide over multiple frets without issue. Okay, they do it all the time. I don't get that comment at all, and it makes me laugh. It does. Maybe they say that because they're playing a 28.5-inch VSL. A really long one, maybe. I don't, maybe. That's another argument altogether because you get people that hate on me because I'm playing a 25 and I say that I really like that and that I recommend people to get a shorter VSL. And I get people who throw shade at that and I'm going, what? Why would you be upset about that? Okay, back to the chromatic issue. Okay, the slide thing is a that's ridiculous. You should stop saying that. You can slide. It's very easy. So that argument, out the door. Both of those arguments, out the door. It's not a guitar. A guitar is something completely different. And just by putting frets on it does not change it into another instrument. I don't. And then you have people who, I guess they say something about, or think something about, you got to have it the traditional, you have to have that. Well, you know what? That's a bunch of malarkey. That's malarkey. Again, get rid of your 6.5 fret. You're not about to do that, are you? I don't think you are. So, It's ridiculous. I just don't understand the arguments against it. Okay. I want and desire to play a mountain dulcimer. I have went to town, the next town over. There's a popular shopping district there. So I've gone over there recently and played mountain dulcimer in the street, you know. And of course, what do I get time and time again? Right here, where the foothills of the Smokies and the Blue Ridge Mountains come together, right here in the mountains. You know, right here, I get this question a lot. What is that? They have no idea what I'm playing. Now that is what is sad to me. So anyone who will get out there and do it, I applaud, okay? I also, you know, and I'm not saying this to brag. I hope you know this, because I am not someone who, I'm like this tall, okay? I'm the lowest of low. I'm a sinner saved by grace, all right? And I'm not a bragger. But I'm saying this because it is very important to me to keep this instrument alive. And it is dying, if you don't already know this. And something that happened a couple of years ago is really contributing to that as well. It's dying. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm going out and playing as much as I can, but I'm also teaching teens how to play the mountain dulcimer. And I think that's important, and I hope everybody listening to this, all 5 of you, I hope you will go and try to get out there and teach somebody else how to play. Once you know how to play it a little bit, you can be teaching somebody else how to do it, okay? We need to keep this instrument alive. And part of that is with new innovation, right? All the frets. The mountain dulcimer is limited only by the player, okay? And I hope you understand that. But I wanted something that I could quickly and easily, without much thought, play everything I play already in any key, and be able to play new things in any key immediately, right? So I hope I've made the case for chromatic mountain dulcimers today with you. And I really do hope that some of the people that have in the past thought that it was a bad thing, or that they don't like it automatically without ever trying it or thinking about it, I hope that I might have changed some minds today, or at least softened some hearts towards it, because music makes me happy, and I know it makes everybody else happy too when they play. It brings so much joy to me and to others, and I can't imagine being down on something. You know, let's talk about a banjo for just a second. I know everybody loves a banjo, right? I'm getting into some hot water here, I know. But let's talk about a banjo. What instrument has a banjo not been turned into? Do you know? Because there are banjo everything. There are banjo ukes. There are banjo guitars. It's just everything. There are banjo dulcimers. There are banjo everything. Okay? So, and I don't, you know, you either love or hate a banjo, and I completely understand that. But I just don't understand why there is so much negativity thrown in the dulcimer world towards any additional frets. I don't understand it one iota. Ever since I first started playing, there was a forum, and you know, this is before much of it was on YouTube. Some things were on YouTube, but much discussion before much discussion was on YouTube. And frankly, I wasn't even on YouTube yet. I didn't even know it existed at that time, really. But there was a forum that talked about mountain dulcimers. And there would be posts about somebody talking about an extra fret. And boy, the negativity. I don't understand where it comes from. Because in this community, I have felt open arms everywhere I've went, and I really think that that is so cool. You know, I'm the new kid on the block, and I've had a lot of people be very kind to me, and I really love that, and it just shows what a community it is. But, you know, I've also seen, not really at events or anything, but online and stuff like that, I've seen a lot of shade thrown at anybody wanting additional frets, and I can't wrap my head around it at all. Does it make it different? Yes. Does it make it better? That's up to the player, okay? Each individual player, right, should have the say, right? And they shouldn't be facing negativity from people just because they have some extra frets. I just don't get it. If you want and enjoy playing standard and want to stay that way, stay that way. Nobody's telling you not to. I don't think adding additional frets is going to kill a standard dulcimer. There is so much beauty in a standard dulcimer. For instance, I absolutely love playing in DAA on my standard Folkcraft dulcimer that I have. I love it. It is so much fun. Would I do that in church? Yes, I have done that in church. On my solo offering. I've not done it in my group when we play with others. But it's not going to replace it. It's in addition to it, right? So I hope that this little talk first get some views in the dulcimer community. I really hope it does. And I hope that you will understand why I'm making this video and why I felt the need to make this video. I'll tell you another thing that might blow your mind. This dulcimer is radius. And I now have a standard that has a 1.5 fret and this that are radiused. And that is the name of the game. I love it. And I will be talking about that in other videos as well. Can you play a flat? Of course you can play a flat. Is it going to replace a flat? No. You know, don't get all, I don't understand why people get so possessive about these things. It's another iteration of a beautiful instrument. And I hope that you will respect that. And I hope that when you see some people playing instruments that have extra frets, that you won't think negatively or say something negative to them. I don't understand why you would do that. Let's not bring people down in this community. Let's bring them up, right? You know, I got a little harsh back then talking about what people say. And I hope I didn't ruffle any feathers there. But if I did, it needs to be done. That's all I can say. I have wasted almost 25 minutes of your time. I hope you've got something out of this. And I really hope that you have opened your heart to this concept, okay? Yeah. Before I go, I always want to remind you something very, very important. Jesus loves you. And so do I. God bless you.